Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game! When we last left off, tensions are high, to put it lightly. So we just had a meeting with the King of Ring, and it went relatively well, I think. We basically told the king that Peren here is the Coal Rod and is possibly going to destroy the world. Thankfully, we had a chance to explain to the king that we don't actually want to destroy the world, so the king is going to take this information into consideration in regards to whether he wants to kill us or not. The fact that he might kill us is certainly bad, but I'm definitely glad we had the opportunity to explain ourselves. It sucks whenever you don't have that opportunity. In fact, especially in video games, you rarely have a chance to explain yourself. That said, we are required to be sticking around the premises until the decision is made. Understandably so. Meanwhile, the Queen wants a private meeting with us in her room. That makes me nervous. I feel like something bad is going to happen in there. Well, before I head into the Queen's chambers and potentially screw everything up, I'm gonna take one quick look over here in case maybe the Queen, or maybe I can find the King and tell him that the Queen is trying to get alone with us. You are not authorized to pass. You are not authorized to pass. You are not authorized to pass. This is not going to end well. Hi there, Orgaya. Wish me luck with the thing I'm about to do. Preferably good luck. Considering you're the game creator, I can imagine you would also not mind if I make a terrible mistake and trigger some alternate possibilities. Good. You're here. Take a seat. Make yourself comfortable. I'll be with you in just a moment. Okay, I'll just sit here. And hello, straight back. Maybe sit here. Okay, that's where I sit. The trier can be intrusive sometimes, in case you were wondering. I guess I would not mind if it was left unlocked, though. My husband had this room built for me in the event that he was much too busy to be warming me in the much colder, larger room we share occasionally. Turns out it's pretty frequent that he is busy. Would you like a drink? No. Playing the stoic, I see. Being married into royalty did exactly what I had hoped it would do. Grant me every wish I ever had. Isn't that typical? Like every little girl's dream, to be whisked away to a castle and given everything they've ever desired. Nah, I guess, yeah, I can understand that. Well, so it goes in the storybooks. Being given what you want at any time of the day or night, appropriately enough, rids you of the one thing that is required to make these things enjoyable. Want itself. Well, with my husband being busy all the time, perhaps some company too. In a room. with a fire. Tell me, Peren, how old are you? Your face. Fantastic. Just what I wanted. She clears her throat. I was the one who ordered Ring's gates to be closed. Why? You may have picked up on the not-so-subtle cues that I was leading that meeting back there. As someone who was made to be a trophy wife to fill a position, I was fortunate that Daphnis is an idiot. And make no mistake, Peren, my husband is an idiot. Small suggestions intermittently laced within his conversations delude his addled, superstitious mind into believing my position has led him to make his own decisions. Earlier was a practical joke on you. I have no intention of inviting you to my bed. Thank goodness. I still have a concern. I'm just gonna keep this mythical weapon close to me. After all, I am not some cooped-up royal figure wanting to escape the monotony of boredom. Well, perhaps I was at one point, and perhaps it was tastefully forbidden to bed someone at your age, but thrill just became part of the cycle of wanting something. Is this going somewhere? Of course it is. I wouldn't have summoned you in here if it weren't. Make no mistake, this is leading into answering why I would close the world off to its largest population. Want can be a funny thing. The lack of it has allowed me a unique perspective from the outside, allowing me to view it in other people. And I've come to realize that no one truly wants anything. Want is the need we have to fulfill an objective, for that objective is the platform to want something else. You want peace. Soon after, it will become wanting law. With law, fairness. And soon, fairness becomes justice. Observing, however, can only take one so far. So in order to compensate for my inane human feature, I devised a little game. The single standing rule to this game is that what I want is the one thing I am not allowed to have. Unfortunately, fate is more above a triviality than I, and so it gave me the tools required to break this rule. A cage and a hunter. Ring and you. I'm just gonna refuse. You refuse now. What I want is very simple, and you're going to bring it back for me. Nothing can enter or exit Ring, therefore the target is still within the city. You're going to catch a rabbit. You will find this rabbit where the pixies have ordained their home. It would be unwise to share our conversation with anyone else. Trust me, Peren, I would know if you did. The door was never locked. You may leave when you feel it necessary. But I heard a locking sound. That's definitely a new book. Inquisitive? Heh, I'd imagine so. Why all of this? All of what? The charades? The games? Catch a rabbit and you might have the answer. Nothing? Very well. Alright, well, for all I know, this is the only place in the game where I can read this book, so might as well take a look at it. How many pages is this? A few pages. Alright, let me take a drink because this is going to be wordy. The Winged Prophet and the Philosophy of Duality. The second of the doctrines states that beauty must be respected, for ugliness creates a context so that we may better understand evil. We reject what is ugly even without wanting to. It is inherent to our kind. It is how we recognize what is wrong. But its true meaning was never understood until the onset of the Winged Prophet of Liquia, Salvator. Salvator promoted the belief that beauty inherently was not about aesthetics, but about the symmetry of being, the dual nature of the universe. Perhaps the greatest revelation, then, is that beauty cannot exist without its counterpoint. The Winged Prophet descended from on high and delivered to us the idea that in time all things will decay, as it is the nature of our world. Change is inevitable, and this means beauty will change into something ugly. But what provoked a sense of hope and wonder was the idea that the opposite is true as well. For if everything changes, if entropy is the only true natural state, then ugliness cannot remain without changing as well. Beauty must derive from ugliness, otherwise it defies what is true. A similar set of dual ideas reflects this intercontinuity. Creation and destruction. If the four goddesses create beauty, and the gray destroys it in the form of ugliness, something like that, then faith decrees we treat the two as both sacred. Yes, the most beautiful specimen will decay into ugliness, but that means the most heinous form will inevitably transform into something greater. That's a belief I can definitely stand behind. This is what the Winged Prophet has taught us about the four goddesses and about our world, about ourselves. With enlightenment, the gray cannot touch us. Wishful thinking. Read that one before. Beauty of the Bloom? I don't think I've read this one. While the creation of fauna in the world can be attributed to the blessing of Lady Hetrana, the creation of the flora is most definitely the work of the communion between Lady Liquia and Lady Lasha. There are many plants that cover our world, but of all the ones that the two goddesses gifted us, it is the Kythium bloom that strikes many as the most beautiful. Actually, I think I have read this one. It's been a while. As the second doctrine states, it is wise to respect such a gift. One would assume the plant is named due to the... Yeah, I definitely read this one. This is when we first found those flowers, because this book was actually within the Sniffer Lady's house. Meanwhile, you two must get pretty bored down here, lording over wounded animals. Your boss, tell me, is he working with those monsters? I remember seeing the green-haired woman back in Hyola just before... I suppose it doesn't matter. Him, her, all of you. You've all put in such extra effort to cause my family harm. So I would expect a form of retribution very soon. I am getting tired of his yapping. Don't harass the prisoner. Farkin won't mind if he is missing a limb. Gah! What in the world? What just happened? Stay put, prisoner. I'm not even going to point out how cliché that statement in this scenario is. Duh! Oh, hey! I think you're our friend. Is this... No. It's a familiar song, but it's not the one I'm thinking of. Hello. My rescuer has a beard. That might take a while you carry me away in your arms. I told you he was going to be like this. Hey, everyone's coming together. Nice shooting, Green. Thanks. I still have no idea what your name is. Hello again, Vincent. Did not expect to see you here. That must have taken you a while to come up with. Well, go do the thing. What? Oh, right. I was mesmerized by his hair. How did you find me? Well, it wasn't intentional, if that's what you're thinking. We were captured by those road freaks back in Geiken after you left. Thanks to her, we escaped into a series of tunnels, and here we are. Somehow got back into another prison. Do you know where we are? I was captured out in the desert near Ring, but I wasn't given the courtesy of seeing where specifically they took me. I see. They got Jaren too? I thought she was back in Hyola. It's a long story. Well, apparently we have all the time in the world, but with the process of your cell door being open taking 8 centuries... Hush! I'm used to opening these things from the inside. Bah! Stand aside! What are you doing? Move. Go for it, tough guy. Oh, you've gotta be... Yeah! I thought that would totally work. That really hurt. Are you done? There's no need for such rudimentary tactics. One of those brutes has a key. You couldn't have said that before. Got it. You know, I would say that entire sequence of events was completely pointless, but it was still fun to watch. Let's go. We need to be quick. Jaren needs medical attention. Can you ensure that no further harm will come to her in the tunnels? No, but we don't have a choice. They have to lead somewhere. Alright, let's go. Hold up, Peren. I have to ask, what did the Queen want? You know what? I ain't keeping any secrets. I need to find the pixies. She wants your help with them. I'm wondering if they are such a problem because the king refuses to deal with them. It would explain why she wanted to keep your meeting in private, at least. Unfortunately, I am not able to help you in this area. These pixies are new to me, so I'd suggest inquiring about this around the city. Mitoma might be a good start. I'm going to head back to the inn in Green District. I think it would be best if I stay in one place in case the king requires my attention again. If you learn anything new, come find me. So I assume that the king's meeting is taking place somewhere in this direction here. I have a feeling that his meeting is taking place with the Geiken. the road people who are trying to kill us because Peren is the coal rod. Which makes me ever so glad we were able to explain our situation to the king before the Geiken were able to fill his mind with thoughts of evilness. Granted, they could still very well do that, but at least, like I said, we got a word in. Also, so far, things have not gone catastrophically wrong like I expected them to. Like, I was totally expecting the queen to try to take our weapon and then we'd accidentally kill her or something. I'll hazard an assumption and say the meeting did not go as planned. It actually did go according to plan, so I'm just gonna ask about the pixies. I suppose that is unsurprising. As King Daphnis wants to keep the Triers focused on the Siri Islands, it would be strategic to send a lone warrior to cool the hive. It is impossible not to sense the creatures. They nest restlessly below the city's streets. I wonder if these tunnels are the same one our friends are trying to traverse. Find an access point, and you will easily find them. Although you must be careful not to get overwhelmed. As for where that access point is specifically, I am unsure. You recently explored the city with Quetzal. Perhaps you've seen something without realizing it. No, I am quite well aware of what it was that I found. I know exactly where to go. I tend to keep going that way because that's where I teleported in. Kinda weird that to exit is in a different location. So Orgaya, by the way, has pointed out that there's a section in the blue area. There's a library there. I would assume I've already seen it. I explored every building in the area. Or at least I attempted to, unless it was one of the locked buildings. It's entirely possible that I came across it, but just couldn't get inside because it was locked. Well, it won't be that building. Or, actually, it would have been that building. Possibly. Or possibly not. Honestly, I'm not really sure. To the far north. Wait, this is the green section. I can color. Blue section is the water section. Well, I'll just kind of quickly make my way over there and check it out. By the way, as long as we have a bit of downtime, I have been informed that all of those instances where I had a choice between, like, yes, yes, no, and yes, apparently because there was this one time that I decided to, for the heck of it, say yes, that has changed the course of the game. Apparently, for example, that one time in the vision where I had the option of leading the bad guys through a portal, supposedly I could have said no had I never said yes during those other instances. So if you're going to play this game, try to find out what happens if you just continuously say no every possible time. Ring library. Please don't spill anything inside. Yeah, this is definitely a place I have not been yet. Also, for anybody interested in trying the game yourself, I'll go ahead and throw you a link while we're on the subject of trying other options. And those of you at YouTube, the link will be in the description. So we got a library here. There's going to be potentially a lot of books to read, including some that I may not have read before. So I guess before I go through all that reading, I just saved over my previous file. Hope this stream don't go wrong. Before I do any of that lengthy reading, we'll go ahead and head into a break here real quick. At the very least, it'll give people interested a chance to download the game.